And we are back with Worlds 2017. We're trying to bring the Blade and Soul action to you guys. Coming in from day one, we saw the East Asian teams coming in from Japan and China. Really bring out the action to it. But we're going to move a little bit away from the East Asia and go over to match 4, which is going to feature a little bit of Southeast Asia and also a little bit from Europe for the first time ever.
Yes.
We're going to get TheChosenOne from Vietnam versus XDDDD.
No,
from Europe.
not DDDD.
Can we just call him XD? I don't know if they don't mind.
All right, let's just go with X quadruple. No, that's too long. But anyways, yes, you guys know who they are. And yes, the next matchup is TheChosenOne from Vietnam and XDDD from Europe. And it's going to be very interesting because, you know, to be honest, Vietnam actually got into this Blade and Soul action pretty late compared to many of the other regions that are participating in this tournament right now. And, you know, Europe... I've seen their regionals. I actually, to be honest, didn't get to catch the Vietnamese regionals, but Europe's regionals was pretty high quality, high level.
Definitely,
so I want to see if Europe is gonna stomp on Vietnam, or if Vietnam practiced enough to not get stomped, or maybe even have a chance against Europe.
And you know, the XD, they were a team that really had to beat out one of the favorites from Europe with Ugly Intentions, being one of the favorites with Cymex on the team, trying to carry his team to at least second place from Europe. But with Bad Intentions, they thought they were gonna be there, but XD, they had to beat out Ugly Intention, which they did to get here in Korea. Now they are the second seed representative from Europe. We're gonna get to first introduce TheChosenOne from Vietnam. Got these three players here with Assassin, Blade Master, and also an Assassin for the second player, and also the Summoner coming for that third player as well. So Vietnam, very new to this scene, and they have high hopes as the only seed from Vietnam, but they're really gonna try their best efforts to bring out a win against XD. But the Western representation is a first in Blade and Soul in the World Championship, and here we are. Get to finally introduce the European teams for the very first time. You guys know these guys by their aliases, their usernames.
Well, nope. We have Anton, Bill, and Albin. That's what we'll call them. But we won't call them Zappish, Aries, and Brother Bill.
But you know, you see these guys, we'll try to refer to them as the familiar names you guys know, but it is Bill Ras, Brother Bill, coming in with the usual Blade dancer, Anton Nilsson. We know him very well as Zappish, the Master KFM of Europe, and Albin Bjork coming with that Warlock known by Aries. And these guys, very well known in Europe, and very much a surprise to be here because they were expected to be brought down by Ugly Intentions, as I mentioned earlier, but they had the courage and they had the will to really go above that team, to be along with Bad Intentions, to make it to Korea today. And wow, you know, fine and proud, they are finally here, and they're gonna be their first match of this World 2017 and see how they do.
Ooh, alright, so we have an Assassin versus a Blade Dancer. I am very excited to see this matchup because, to be honest, I've seen, you know, Brother Bill stream a couple times, and you know, he is up there. His skill level is up there, and you know, I'm pretty sure he probably scrimmed against, you know, the foreign teams, but when he's at home, he doesn't get to scrim against, you know, Vietnamese players. So, you know, on this stage right now, live, you know, I wonder how he feels, if he's nervous or if he's ready, because, you know, I know the way he plays. I know the skill level that he is at.
Definitely.
So, you know, we'll have to see if he's able to bring out all his, you know, skills to go up against this Vietnamese assassin.
And really, this is probably my personal most excitement coming into the World 2017 so far with Europe. We'll see how they do against the opponents that aren't European, and against the teams that aren't NA and all the Western. But first game will tell us whether Brother Bill, really contrary to his fame that he has over in Europe, whether he can really make things work against the side of the Assassin coming from the Vietnamese side. But Brother Bill, a lot of expectation for this guy because he's considered to be the leader of this side of XD, and just everything about him really sets an example for the rest of his teammates, and maybe his result here will set a good example for the rest of the series to come.
Yeah, and regardless of who might be better or who might have more experience, I hope nobody underestimates their opponents, because when the moment that you underestimate your opponent, regardless of how skillful you are, you still give out that opening, and the lesser experienced opponent might beat you. So I hope he keeps his calm, he keeps his cool, and do not underestimate your opponent at any cost.
And really just Brother Bill and the rest of the side of XD, they're really not gonna underestimate their opponents, which I'm thinking, because they've really worked hard to get here, and they're not gonna just let it down due to complacency.
Yeah.
And really just gonna work their best of efforts to really get the best results they can in this World 2017. But
it seems like there is a little bit of difficulty, and this usually happens because every single player has their own settings for the game, and they bring their gear, and every time you plug in new gear, and you have to set up your sensitivity and blah blah blah. So it takes time, and sometimes it causes technical difficulties, and this is probably what's going on right now.
So it seems like
bear with us.
Little malfunction from the side of Pham Hall, and he's just trying to adjust his chair and also adjust a little bit of parts of his computer to make things perfect for the environment that he's about to get into. It's really interesting really how this goes, because see these guys right now, Zappish, Aries, and Brother Bill, they look very, very excited for this match that is about to unfold. And Brother Bill saying that first example, you see the smile on his face. He's feeling very happy about being here at all, and just like me personally, I said this since the wildcards and since the days before. I really want the European teams and also the NA teams to do very well, because it really should set an example for other people around that region, in the rest of the regions, to really get their hands on Blade and Soul and really try it for themselves. That this game is not really about Korean domination anymore, and it can be other regions making an effort to put up a say to see they can really counter whatever they can really do for that. But seems like the malfunction is continuing. I think we're coming back to us. There we go.
We're back.
We're back to us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but I'm glad that this malfunction or this technical difficulty happens before the matchup, the whole set starts, because if that happens in the middle, it cuts off the team's momentum, regardless of who won the first match or who won the last match. It may, get their adrenaline rush to run out, that, and you don't want that to happen. So I'd rather have this in the beginning before the match starts.
If you're gonna have the problem, let's get it out of the way.
Yeah.
To begin
just have all the problems right now and just fix up everything, so everybody is good to go, and then we can start. And it sounds like we're ready.
I think the music has changed. We're going to get the game one underway. We're moving away from East Asia and going over to Southeast Asia with the chosen one from Vietnam, going up against XDDDD from Europe to see how they do. Let's get it on. Very exciting announcement of Europe player making their first mark in this Worlds 2017. Brother Bill will be up against Pham Ha, the assassin representing Vietnam in the chosen one.
All right, there we go. Brother Bill, Bannon grips him, making that offensive move right there into the area with the ascend, re-knock up. Okay, the tab escape is used, or the stealth is used by the assassin.
Not really being able to put up so much damage with Brother Bill, really controlling the play for the early parts of the game. Mahal having to use a stealth already, tries to look for counter hit, but another stun coming in from Brother Bill into the arrow. This might be the beginning of true damage. Coming from the side, lightning draw is going to do a lot of damage, and you have to go back to the flower just to escape that play.
Yeah, and he still has 8 seconds left for that stealth to come back. If he gets CC'd, it's a win for Brother Bill.
Brother Bill tries for that knockdown, doesn't happen this time around. He's gonna go for another play. Moving forward, Brother Bill does get stunned up. Gets a little bit of damage coming in from Pham Hall, and
he still gets to save his tab escape. So Brother Bill taking a little bit of damage, but he saves the his escape. So it's a plus.
And very much healthy as well throughout. And unless Pham Hall starts a little bit of combo right here, which he does with the poison breath, with that stun, he still saves up the stun, Brother Bill, and he tries to keep that stun in the emergency situation. This is
and
another.
he does have his lightning draw.
Second aerial does come. A lightning draw is available. He's just gonna use now, and it's just not enough to finish him off immediately. Family Hall realizes the situation of the dangers that he's being put under, but still goes aggressively. Brother Bill probably didn't expect this coming. They'll bombard into the landmine. Does connect a little bit, so getting a little bit inch closer is Family Hall. Again, Brother Bill and really the body swap onto the bombard.
It's over.
And it is a first win for Europe, and it does go over to Brother Bill, setting a good example for the Western side to have their dominance in Worlds 2017, and it begins now 1-0 up for XD, and it's going forward.
Yeah, very well played. You know, the assassin, unfortunately for him, he was out of all of his escapes, and he still went super aggressive when he should be, you know, trying to dodge, you know, keep his distance as much as possible, stay in the fog maybe. But unfortunately, Brother Bill does not give him the chance to do so.
And just very well played out from the very early moments of the game. Brother Bill forces out that early stealth from Family Hall, and you don't have the stealth, just can't go in as aggressively with the assassin as you would otherwise. But see Brother Bill, 2 series of second aerials into the lightning draw deals so much damage, and by the end here, really nothing Family Hall could do, and just finishes him right there with the third series of aerial, and 1-0 up XD, and looking good so far.
Yeah, he does seem like, you know, he's comfortable playing in this offline arena. And, you know, I'm very happy, not only for Brother Bill, but for all the players who are participating here. I hope, you know, they feel like, I know it's not home, but, you know, I hope it's as close as home. I hope, you know, all the chairs and the settings of the computers are, you know, comfortable for them to play in.
Oh,
so,
sure,
you know,
yeah.
There's no excuses, you know, so we are getting ready for the second matchup, Summoner versus Warlock.
That's going to be Aries, Alban Bjork, coming in for the side of XD against Dokuki, coming in from TheChosenOne from Vietnam. Another summoner we see in Worlds 2007. That's already the third one that we see out of how many teams? 5 teams that we've been introduced to. I mean, 6 teams that we've been introduced to. That's already 3.
Yeah.
That's so many more summoners that we see.
50% pick rate.
Oh my goodness.
We never get 50% pick rate on summoners in the Korean tournaments.
We saw more summoners than we saw destroyers. That's how much we're telling us right now.
And you know, this is what Worlds is about. You know,
really
people from different regions have different metas, different play styles, you know, different characters or classes they prefer. And this is, you know, what happens when many different regions come together. We see a 50% pick rate on summoners.
And bringing that variety is very important in this Worlds 2017 because we get to see things that we don't typically see just by doing an year-long tournament runs. After that, you know, in the Korean scene, seeing that same picks over and over again. But you know, really good to see all these varieties that these players are bringing to Korea, and just Worlds 2017 is already excitement with a flair. Heading into game 2 now between Vietnam and Europe, and they didn't get the win this time around, but hopefully the second game could be a game for these guys. Dokuki really trying to bring a win for them, getting back to 1-1, but we are going to jump straight onto game 2 with the Warlock versus Summoner to decide who will pick up that next point game into game 3. So let's get the match underway. Let's get it on. Here we go for game 2 between TheChosenOne and XD. And Dokuki on the Summoner going up against Aries.
Yeah, last time around when it was a Summoner versus Warlock, the Summoner's cat did a lot of work, and the Summoner ended up winning. So we'll see what happens this time around.
You know, it's not the same situation for every class, and the player differences on their skill level plays a big part in that, but Alban, Aries doing a very good job of early damage. So much damage with that time distortion to boot. And there's just a lot of explosive that just came forth in an instant. And will it be over in the first 20 seconds or so? We haven't got a match that quick in a very long time.
Straightforward. And you know, you see his face. He's staring at Aries. He's like, what just happened?
So if you guys watched the earlier series of where the Summoner beat the Warlock 2 times in that same series, now you guys know Summoner does not automatically beat a Warlock. So don't go argue with your friends and make a start an argument that Summoner is stronger than a Warlock. You just show that Ares or Warlock did the job done.
Yep, exactly. And now XD is up 2 points.
Very comfortable.
Next, the third match is going to be worth 4. I mean, not 4, what am I saying? Worth 2. If they win this, they'll, have a sweet 4-0 against this Vietnamese team, TheChosenOne.
And really, the XD's really advantages and their strengths really came forth in their European qualifiers when they went against the Ugly Intentions.
Yeah.
Their strengths were definitely in the tag matches, in addition to their singles, where their communication and their synergy between the 3 different players really worked out very well. Brother Bill really keeps that defensive effort strong and comes in for that interferes really when the team needs it, and that adds to so much power that the entire team at X Team produced. But you see Zappish for the first time as well, the KFM, the Master KFM they call him, back over in Europe. He's one of the top rated KFM in the region, so gonna get his first sighting of him, but it will be the TheChosenOne XD in this game 3 tag match to potentially finish it off.
Yeah, and I still want to give props to the TheChosenOne, the Vietnamese team, because they are probably one of the regions that are the furthest behind in patches. So I'm pretty sure this is a stacking of experience for them right now. That is why they don't seem to really get angry when they lose. They're trying their best. They're trying to keep their focus because they know that their patches are the furthest back compared to other regions. So, it's understandable, and, I commend them for coming to this tournament even knowing that they are behind.
But definitely the Vietnamese team is completely not out of this yet, because just winning this tag match alone can get them right back to even at 2-2, which will lead us right on to game 4 to finish us off. But the Vietnamese side, the TheChosenOne, should not lose their momentum and should not lose their confidence in this third match, because the European side, XD, has been showing a lot of strength in the first 2 singles. To see if it can really continue on with this tag match, we'll have to find out.
Yep, and like I said before, I hope after this tournament, Vietnam, regardless of what place they place as a team, they continue to play, and sooner or later they're gonna have the even patches, and they'll be able to compete better. And the music has changed, and potentially the last match, the third set. Let's get it on.
Here we go for game 3 between the TheChosenOne and XDDDD. As Famo Hall, the assassin who put up a good fight against Brother Bill, will be up against Ares this time. Ares put so much damage that we had to cut off the video short of how much damage that dealt. So whether they can do it again, we're gonna have to find out. But Famo Hall is starting off strong. That's so much damage, but it's gonna be a counter damage coming in from Ares.
Early time distortion used with the Sanctum.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So
Another
much
aerial.
damage though coming in for that assassin, from that Warlock onto the assassin. Just seemed like an assassination damage. That's kind of what I wanted to say there.
Yep. All right. So 2 interferes has been used for the TheChosenOne already. Only one interfere for XD right now.
We still have Brother Bill standing still on the sidelines. But a good opportunity coming. There he is now. Puts it into the air. Very good combo from that Blade Dancer. Aerial into that. That's going to be good enough to finish him off in the first minute. And Ares, along with Brother Bill's aerial, is so much damage that you can put out. And that's going to be the first man knocked up already for the TheChosenOne. That's going to be a huge loss for them.
Yeah, the first person knocked out is an assassin with full resource points.
Full resources.
This is never a good sign for any team.
But looking good! But Warlock is going to be the second mana, and Ares is suddenly out in an instant, also with full resources. And now Anton Zappish is out for the KFN. This is going back and forth. This might end in 2 minutes.
Oh gosh, but now Zappish, the KFM is doing work right now. The summoner took a lot of damage out of escapes. He might want to tag out and let the Blade Master come in.
Definitely, and Dokoki, he shouldn't have been staying in there. That was a greedy choice, and now the second man is knocked out. Now we have 3 men out in the first 2 minutes, and Vietnamese side, the TheChosenOne, that was a silly error then to not tag out there.
Yeah, definitely a silly error that you should not make, because you know this is gonna cost you. Because look at all the resource points that the 3 dead people have.
The incredible Zapish on the
gosh.
KFM, making no mistakes of finishing off in an instant and bringing out the Blade Master, really doing nothing to him. And he's just going strong. The Dragon Tongue trying to do some damage onto him, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be Brilliant Bill coming right out. The chase does happen for the Blade Master. Getting into the second aerial. And Anton on the interfere there, helping out Brother Bill there.
Yeah, the Blade Master is trying his best to stay alive, and he
saves the lightning draw now. My goodness.
Very unfortunate for all those players who died with almost 4 resources early on in the first 2 minutes.
I mean, the first one I kind of understand because it was damage that coming out of nowhere that we didn't expect. But the second situation where he could have tagged us so easily, having already taken out so much damage, along with being out of your all of your escapes, he had every reason in the world to tag out right away. But he stayed there for 7 extra seconds, which costed him the second death, and that could have made such a difference maker heading forward.
Yeah, and we were actually staring at that moment when, you know, the Vietnamese player didn't tag out, and we were looking at him and we're like, we didn't want to say tag out because it was such an obvious time to tag out, but he didn't tag out and ended up dying, and that's when we called it.
I mean, see there, Aries and Brother Bill did a good job with Brother Bill knocking him into the air with a free damage calling for that Warlock. Did a good job of knocking out Family Hall, but other than that, the Summoner, Donkoki, had to, you know, knock off the second opponent, which he did. So it was even at that point, but you saw there in that moment right there, he's taken so much damage and he had no escape. Why didn't he tag out?
We'll have to ask him.
You can ask him. You can ask him.
I don't. Okay. Well, anyways, so XD ends up doing a 4-0 sweep.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, very clean. Like I said before, for Vietnam's excuse, they are very behind. I do commend them once again for coming to this tournament and, you know, not saying, hey, we're behind, we don't have a chance, let's not go. You know, some people may think that way, but, you know, they did come and, you know, claps to them.
But European teams, they had a lot of expectation coming forward because they were one of the weaker matches. But we're going to get a short break and we'll be back to you guys after this break, so stay tuned.